It's Friday, the end of the week. Good evening, I'm Joy Gosses. Leading our news, Minister of Home Affairs and Immigration, Safety and Security, Dr. Albert Gawana in Parliament on Thursday, refuted allegations which link President Dr. Hage Geingob to the Phala Phala saga, stating they are nothing but defamation of character, malicious and devoid of any truth.
The presidency has comprehensively refuted the allegations leveled against our president. Therefore, it's not necessary to comment any further, save to refute the allegation that Mr. David Emmanuel was abducted with the full knowledge of the President of the Republic of Namibia. It will be proven that such allegation is defamatory, malicious, and politically motivated if one takes into account some comments and remarks which are made in some print and social media. In the same vein, the Namibian police force has already clarified its role, therefore it is not necessary to repeat the response here. Therefore, Comrade Speaker, the purpose of this statement is to provide documentary proof in order to refute the allegations beyond reasonable doubt. In this regard, copies of the court records as well as charge sheets will be provided to the honorable members. With regard to the alleged abduction, a copy of a declaration of prohibited immigrant issued to Mr. David Emmanuel by a senior immigration officer will be provided to the honorable members to prove that the allegations of abduction are completely false.
Moving on, the Anti-Corruption Commission recently apprehended the owner of ABC Investment CC, Go Yunai, and his manager, Rodney Sinvula Shinyengwa, for allegedly bribing a Namibia Revenue Agency official. This was revealed in a statement issued on Thursday by the anti-corruption watchdog. Sawe Hausiku filed the story.
The ACC in a media statement on Thursday said Yunai, aged 51, who is a foreign national, and Siengwa, aged 33, a Namibian, were apprehended for allegedly contravening Section 34 and 46 of the Anti-Corruption Act of 2003. The commission said it received a tip-off from a whistleblower that the two tried to allegedly bribe a NAMRA official with an amount of 100,000 Namibian dollars after the owner of ABC Investment CC was found to owe 8 million Namibian dollars in tax. The commission said a sting operation with NAMRA was organized and both men were arrested while handing over bribe money to the NAMRA official. The two men appeared in the Windhoek Magistrates Court on Wednesday and their case was remanded to 24 June 2022 for a formal bail application. The commission commended Namibian officials who put national interest above their personal interest by reporting corrupt persons who offer them bribes in exchange for betraying the official responsibilities entrusted to them.
Meanwhile, Anti-Corruption Commission Deputy Director General Erna van der Merwe has emphasized the importance of the media's role in exposing corruption and subsequent investigations by the Commission. Isabel Bendo filed the story.
Speaking at ACC's annual media briefing with the media in the Erongo region on Thursday, Van der Merwe said investigative bodies such as the ACC would have difficulties unraveling corrupt conduct if it did not collaborate with the media. She noted they recognize the fact that many corrupt practices that have been and are being investigated by the ACC were first reported by the media. Van der Merwe noted they are therefore among the first to recognize the very important role of the media and thus when necessary and at an appropriate time they will continue to share information with and through the media. She added that investigative journalism remains one of the critical apparatus in flagging incidences of corruption in both public and private institutions and its negative consequences on the economy, resources and the people. She added that investigative journalism remains one of the critical apparatus in flagging incidences of corruption in both public and private institutions and its negative consequences on the economy, resources and the people. Van der Merwe also called on the participation of other stakeholders in the fight against corruption.
Moving to the Oxizon-Juba region, where more than 300 civil servants from various offices, ministries and agencies on Thursday gathered at Otjiwarongo to celebrate the 2022 Africa Public Service Day. Our correspondent based in that region filed this report.
In a keynote message read on her behalf, Prime Minister Sarah Koongelo-Amadila reminded the public servants to always see to it that they acquaint themselves with mostly the 10 principles of the Public Service Charter.
As we partner with the UN system in Namibia to commemorate this day, activities identified speak to the transformation role of the public service. This includes championing of innovation to bring about new ideas, developing such ideas into improving public service delivery. The other aspect is to instill ethos of integrity in our public service. It is only through good ethics that we can eliminate corruption in the public service, which has become the potential to derail our development. I think you will all agree that effort should be put in that area. Lots of money is being put unnecessarily when people do other things that compromises their integrity. I thus call upon members of the public service to embrace these reforms and innovations so that we shall have an enhanced, transformed public service in Namibia one day. The government will continue to embrace the aspirations of this day. It is through the hard work and commitment of the public servants that we continue to make strides in the public service delivery. While celebrating this very special day, government pays homage to all public servants who succumbed to COVID-19 while delivering services. We also thank all public servants for their loyalty and dedication, as well as for delivering efficient and effective service during very difficult times to the citizens of this country.
When we return, African economies see opportunities despite external crisis. We begin in the Ohangwena region, where Governor Valdein Devashia on Wednesday attributed the government's poor service delivery to the poor road network in the Ohangwena region. Devashia was speaking at the annual State of the Region address at Enana. Mulisa Simiyasa filed the story.
He said the vastness of the region, poor road networks and road infrastructure coupled with financial challenges have forced the region political leadership to prioritize graveling, re-graveling and upgrading of some of the roads in the region to bitumen standard. He said the road between Elundu Osheke to Okankolo, the Ondobe Okahenge and Oshihambo road, as well as the road between Oshitonde and Omundangelo are on the priority list. The governor did not give any financial outlines or timelines for these projects. He said the eastern constituencies in the region are also faced with poor road networks, bad roads or non-existent roads, which makes it difficult for the inhabitants to access government services as schools or clinics. Devashia thus wants all road construction projects underway in the eastern areas of the region to be completed on time before the rainy season.
From COVID-19 to the war in Ukraine, external crises have put pressure on African economies, but many on the continent see opportunities to undertake radical reforms. Michael Matimba reports.
Africa already showed some resilience during the pandemic as its economic contraction was less severe than in the rest of the world, shrinking by 2% compared to 3.3% globally in 2020. While Russia's invasion of Ukraine is weighing on the world economy, Africa faces a better outlook again in 2022. Economist Lionel Zinsou, formerly Prime Minister of Benin, said Africa is headed towards growth of around 3.7%, while in North America and Europe there is a real risk of recession. He added they haven't been the biggest victims of the pandemic, and they won't be the biggest victims of the collateral consequences of the war in Ukraine. The conflict in Europe has fueled a surge in global inflation, but Zinsou said growing prices for raw materials will compensate for the higher costs of imports in Africa. He noted another positive signal is that investor confidence in Africa is up to a higher level than that before the pandemic.
Stay tuned for the sports news, but first the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast.
Welcome to the week's last sporting update on Sport Planet. I'm Michael Madimba. The Commerce and Zambezi regions on Thursday successfully defended their floating trophies at the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture Sports Games, which concluded in Otjiwarongo on Thursday. The annual Education Sports Games are held for non-teaching staff members of the Ministry's 14 regional education directorates, including the head office in Windhoek and the National Institute of Education and Development in Okahanja. In the netball category, Team Commerce defeated the Kavango East team to reclaim their trophy, while the Zambezi region successfully defeated hosts Otjiwarongo by 3-0, in the process reclaiming the volleyball crown. On to Formula One. Red Bull boss Christian Horner fears that the Formula One title fight in 2022 could be decided in the law courts due to global inflation and the season's budget cap. The 10 teams on the grid have an annual maximum spend of £119 million for the 2022 season, but amid rising costs across the globe, some have pushed for an increase to be announced, including Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. Others, such as Aston Martin, disagree, resulting in a difficult situation for Formula One officials on what approach to take. But Horner has continued his push for a budget increase, warning the title battle could be decided in the courts. Horner also warned that failure to address the issue could result in the loss of hundreds of jobs within Formula One, while it might also lead to the budget cap being scrapped further down the line. Stand by for your sports roundup. That's where we leave it for this week. It was an absolute pleasure bringing you the latest updates on events around the world. Many thanks for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share and press the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Catch us on Monday next week as we unpack all the global happenings on for you on Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire production crew, have a restful weekend.